My name is Seno. We are from Syndicate 6. We're going to talk about Marvel's case. Marvel is a very interesting case. It's a perfect example of a comic company who has been successfully transforming to become a movie maker, and how they have come up with their success. They always becoming or providing the competitive advantage in the industry in comparison to the other player. For example, with DC Comics, Marvel is always come up with the new heroes. They created new characters. They can bring into the reality, which is also from a human being, for a normal human being, yet bringing the dream of a normal human being to become a hero in their own version, in different kind of manners. For example, how Thor as a character has been put into reality. Thor, even though it's a science fiction story, but people can feel the human part or the human factors of a Thor, and they always set the stage in the industry that all the other players are trying to play catch up and follow the same. Of course, they have the competitive advantage being the first. For example, their last movie, they're bringing all their characters, their prominent characters, into the same one movie. This is something that never happened before. It also triggers another question for us. Now they put everything into one basket. Of course, it's a successful one, but the question is, how would they survive in the future, particularly with the acquisition of DC into MCU.
Guys, I've just watched Avenger Endgame movie and I'm still amazed with the production quality and the overall story. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. They're able to develop the story since day one, and they set the final piece in that movie.
What do you think of their strategy so they can success?
Based on what I read from the Harvard Business Review article, one of the key success is that they're able to recruit the experience of inexperience.
What do you mean with recruiting the experience in experience?
They try to recruit production team that is not coming from blockbuster background, but having a good skill in developing a good storyline and building the character.
Yeah, that's true. But that MCU, right, is very high cost and high budget. But I think it's not easy to duplicate, right? So, do you remember about the Fantastic Four movie?
Yeah, actually I watched that movie. Then it's really bad.
Exactly. The director is a team story. He was a very strong in romantic comedies, so he was trying so hard into the superhero genre. But the result is very bad. The rating is very bad. So I think this strategy is not really easy to duplicate to the others movie.
Yes, in terms of learning curve, they are able to gather all the knowledge and let the organization to learn.
Yes, agree with that. I think the formula can also be implemented to several business lines, such as in my company, which move in infrastructure financing. We can recruit people that is not only expert in finance but also have experience in infrastructure and another skill such as negotiation.
Actually I also read that article. They say that why Marvel can be a blockbuster is just because, you know, they really have a stable core in terms of, let's say, actors, and then production team, and also the story.
Yeah. They also have a good balance, enough similarity, and also they're able to push the people to extend the thinking. That's why they success.
Yep.
Can you implement it to your industry?
Because my industry is in petrochemicals, so we really need a stable in terms of give the quality and then services. So I think we need a stable core, to maintain our customer, to prevent us between, rather than our competitors. So yeah, it can be implemented in my industry.
Yeah, agree with that.
Guys, what are you talking about? It sounds very interesting.
What amazing, guys!
Can I join?
Sure.
What do you bring?
Just
Take your
think.
flights.
What amazing, man!
Yeah, please have a seat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have to go. I have a meeting.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice meeting. So, what movie do you talk about, guys?
We just talk about Marvel.
Oh, Marvel, yeah, I really love it because I think I watch every series of the Marvel movies, and I think it's really good because they are very innovative in how they create the movie. They keep challenging the formula by inviting the many directors and give the directors the freedom to make their own movie characters. Not movie characters, I mean like their plot movie. They just the cast, they just their genre by making with a different visual, making different music for each movie characters.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually I'm not a hater of Marvel, but I think Marvel succeeds because maybe just luck.
Why?
Because I think to couple things that maybe you have to consider. First is the Marvel itself is oligopoly market competition is quite different. If Marvel will be in the free competition, perfect competition, because they cannot changing the formula, they can challenging the formula because it has a bad impact for the result.
Yeah, but I think one of the benefits in the Marvel is they have a huge numbers of the community, the huge number of big fans that no matter Marvel create the movie is, they still keep waiting and watch the movie that Marvel released.
Yeah, I agree with Pak Teguh's opinions of being contrast with the challenging formula positions. If you are willing to come with the idea of challenging the formula, you need to make sure that you know your audience first. In Marvel case, audience already expect the movie maker to come with unexpected and out of pattern movies. However, challenging formula does not always fit all the situations. Almost comic-based or novel-based movie audience, by default, they want to stick with only to what they already read. So finding the balance between the original idea and innovations has not always been a favorite case.
But I think if the Marvel keep making the movie just same as the comic story from the long history ago, I think the people were getting bored if they are only watching as same as the movie over and over again. Because it's just like I think like the fashion industry. In the fashion industry, if the store just not making creativity in their store, the people doesn't want to come to the store because the product is just same. So it's like a movie. If the movie is just same as the comic, I think the people will be bored watching like the same thing.
Yeah, I think because that's in the creative industry, right? So if you don't have the creativity, you will die. Imagine that you are not in the creative industry, you playing with the human basic need. It's not really different. So everything will have a bad impact if you don't change the formula. It has a bad impact.
Yeah, I think it's not only about the creative industry or fashion industry or movie industry. Like in my company, as the airline industry, in the airline industry, we have the core business as the full service airlines, which is the standard of full service airline is just like that for long ago, how to serve the services. But since the tight competition from the last decade, I think the airlines have to make the changing the formula and how to serve their customer, because the other airlines like the Middle East Airlines or maybe the other regional Asia, they have and they serve the customer with luxurious product, which is in Garuda it's very highly cost, and I think we cannot afford it for this short time. So we keep challenging the formula by how to serve the customer by making a special gimmick like concert on board, and we make a special flight attendant's attire, and then how we make, maybe in the next we can make a wedding package on board. But I think it how to make the people, how to make the customer keep curious and keep attract to fly with my airlines.
Yeah, that's the creative industry as well, because airline is I think you need to be creative.
Yeah.
To be sustained, you need to be creative, right?
Yeah.
Same with my industry. My industry is a property development. So you know the current property development is in critic, right? So maybe you see in every Sunday morning, the advertisement is only about housing, apartment. That's really bored. So I think they need to have something more creative, something different. They might create something like housing for millennials, or housing for millennial, or ecosystem housing in the middle of the forest. Maybe a tree house in the Puncak. That's a very good idea. I think that could be selling, because it's a good concept, and of course selling new experience.
Yeah, I'm never boring to see Avenger Endgame many times. This film is really for me is makes me always curiosity. What do you think?
Really?
Yeah.
So.
And actually this one is already they setting already from the beginning, from the Marvel day, when they created the story, the superhero from the beginning, and now at the end, at the Avenger Endgame, all together they gather together in the Avenger Endgame. Yeah.
I disagree because the visual effect, I don't like it because it's too hard and I feel uncomfortable to see it.
For me, not. This is perfect for me.
You know what?
What?
Spider-Man, Sony asked to increase the revenue,
Okay.
and Marvel also want to increase the revenue for 40% from 5%.
Yeah. That's because that one Sony have the rights, the copyrights of the Spider-Man. But on the other hand, the Marvel is already make the movie. The Spider-Man is becoming goods, becoming famous, right?
Don't you think it's like a drama in the company?
For me, maybe that's one of the strategy that also make the curiosity is higher.
I don't think so. That's your opinion.
Yes. Because I really like all the Marvel movie from the beginning. They already set up, and at the end, the Avenger Endgame is very the revenue is very high.
No, I don't think so. It's like a drama because the music.
Don't you like drama?
Marvel like a drama.
Everyone loves drama.
And
I think for the curiosity also, it's happened also in some of the company. Do you think in your company it will happen also about how to cultivate the curiosity?
I don't think so because my company is so strict and Marvel feel such a one spot. They want to rise one character to many character, and we cannot decide about it.
No. In my opinion, for example, in my industry property, when we want to launch the product, for example, a housing product, we just like doing like Marvel. We give like a teaser in the social media. We highlight the for example the kitchen, and we invite the prospective buyer to comment. What do you think about this kitchen? That's our strategy also. I think a bit similar with what Marvel do.
That's my opinion.
Yeah,
because
but
since
I think you can think about that also. Maybe in your company you can do it something.
maybe,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure because Marvel they such a want to increase, and they see only their own business, nothing to like see how to share profit with other stakeholders.
Yeah. At the end, we always have pros and cons, right? Yeah, you can disagree, but I still has my own opinion.
That's your choice.
Yes, but let's make pause. In order to produce next movies, Marvel need to reinvent their formula and try to adjust themselves with current situation. The competition with other companies must getting really tight, and the expectation of the fan is also getting higher. We expect the Phase 4 quality is also maintained. To other industry, to replicate the formula is also a tough job, and full of evaluation is also needed to get high impact from the implementation.